It's time for Civil War. Now, I'm actually Team Captain America. I'm still Team Captain America right now. But there was two different covers. I bought the Iron Man one because it just looks cooler, okay? But I'm Team Cap. But still, let's talk about this movie.
And we'll fly, oh, we'll fly.
So when I first saw this movie with my granddad back in 2016 on day one, I'm pretty sure, I sort of overhyped it. I said it was the best MCU movie. Now that was, for me, I was overrating it, I feel. I was overrating it. I guess I was so excited by it and I loved it so much that I thought it was the best MCU movie. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I still think it's very good. Like, I still think it's a good movie. I just don't think it's like the best MCU movie, but still very good. Although, considering it's called Civil War, it felt more like a civil dispute for 3 days. Because that's more or less what it was. Captain America, Civil 3-Day Dispute. Yeah, that's a more accurate title. But still, I'm not hating on it, of course. It was a very good movie. It was done very well. And if I was to rate it, I'd probably still give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, I think. I think it's a good movie. Maybe 9 is a bit too nice. Maybe 8.5. At the least, but yeah, I still think it's a really good movie. I just don't think it's the best MCU movie, although it's arguably top 5, I think. Maybe it's definitely top 10, easily top 10, but top 5, I think, probably, maybe. We'll see. I'll do a rankings list soon, so you'll see where I put it in that. But yeah, it has a lot of talking points though, a lot of talking points, and yeah, this was the better Avengers movie than Age of Ultron. Although this is more a Captain America movie more than anything. I mean not just because of the title, but because it's very much Captain America's story when you think about it. Even though it involves a lot of Avengers, you see what I mean. But yeah, as I said, a lot of talking points. There's a book, of course, where if someone says the words, it mind controls Winter Soldier. We get that at the start. And he's on a mission for December 16th, 1991. Now, that's a memorable date, which we find out what's the significance of it at the end of the movie. But yeah, he's being mind controlled to go and kill a couple people and steal something. So yeah, there's that. That's the opening scene, I'm pretty sure. Then you get the Avengers mission. Wanda. Well, it ends. Well, it's a really cool like chase scene, fight scene. Then Wanda ends up accidentally destroying a building which kills Wakandans. So that is a really bad and sad thing, and that prompts General Ross from the Hulk, from the Incredible Hulk movie. He comes to the Avengers facility and he says, we can't tolerate this anymore. You need to sign these Sokovia Accords. It means that you have to you can only operate under UN supervision, and that's only if they let you operate. So yeah, there's basically for the UN to control them, basically. Although it doesn't sound as bad as that, but you know what I mean. But then they have the disagreement between them. Half of them want to sign, half of them don't, you know, etc. Both sides make good points. I feel both sides make very good points. I am Team Cap because personally I wouldn't trust the UN or the US or whatever. I wouldn't trust them because, well, you never know what their agendas are. Their agendas change, etc. And sometimes they might like refuse to send the Avengers to somewhere where they might send them, and you know, it could also get infiltrated. You know, just like SHIELD infiltrated. So I can understand Cap's standpoint, you know, on all of this, especially after SHIELD as well. And yeah, but still, the other side also has some really good points. There's a good point for both sides, and yeah, obviously you get that whole argument, and yeah, then Peggy Carter, obviously she dies, so you don't see her die, but you see her funeral. And then Sharon comes and talks, and this is the first time that Captain finds out that Sharon is Peggy Carter's niece. So this whole time he's been fancying her niece, which is quite weird, right? Like, he was in love with Peggy Carter in World War II, got frozen, and now he's gonna get with her niece after she's dead. It just feels. It just seems really weird. But obviously, General Ross says if you refuse to sign the Accords, you have to retire. Otherwise, you'd be operating illegally. So yeah, there's that as well, which is a bit harsh, but yeah. You obviously get Zemo. Obviously, Zemo's the mastermind behind all of this. He finds that book, which you can mind control Winter Soldier with. You have to say some words. Homecoming's a word. Fright car, I think, is a word. He says multiple words, and once he's said the whole phrase, Winter Soldier is mind controlled, and he's, yeah, that's scary. That is scary. But yeah, he gets the book, of course, and it all leads to the UN meeting for the Sokovia Accords, and obviously there's a bomb explosion. Now, Winter Soldier is framed for this. At the start, you think Winter Soldier's done it. He's been mind controlled again, but later on in the movie, you find out that Zemo used someone similar looking to Bucky Barnes to frame him. But this whole time Zemo was behind all of it. So yeah, there's that as well. We'll get to that later. We find out not now but later. But I thought I mentioned it now. But yeah, obviously everyone thinks Bucky did it. T'Challa, Black Panther, we get his introduction. He knows, he thinks that Bucky did it as well, obviously. And yeah, I think, when does Black Panther happen? I'm pretty sure it's in this time period. Like, I'm pretty sure it starts before Black Panther takes place and finishes somewhere after, I think. Obviously, T'Challa's dad died as well in that UN explosion. So he was blinded by a little bit of rage, but also because everyone was thinking it was him anyway. So either way. But yeah, obviously his father dying was a major factor to him going after Bucky. And yeah, obviously you get that whole chase scene. Captain America stops a grenade with his shield. That is for me, I think that might be a callback to the first Avenger when he jumped on top of a grenade to stop it. So I think it's kind of a reference in a way. I think Black Panther does it as well in his movie. So yeah, I think that's like a Marvel thing now. Sort of, I guess. But anyway, you get that whole chase scene. Really well done scene. The fight scenes in this movie are great. That chase scene's done really well. And then T'Challa, Captain, Falcon, and Bucky, they all get arrested. They all get caught. They all are taken to Berlin, where Tony's there. Black Widow's there. Anyway, Zemo has a plan. Obviously the guy who he killed is the one who's supposed to interrogate Bucky Barnes, and well, Zemo interrogates him instead, and he puts on a plan to send a bomb to the Transformers. Not the movie Transformers. I mean like electricity Transformers. You know what I mean. Okay. There's an explosion there which cuts off the power to the city, and this allows Zemo to well, everyone's blind to him now, and he uses the book on Bucky and mind controls Bucky, obviously, and Bucky ends up fighting Captain America and Falcon and Tony and T'Challa and Black Widow and Sharon Carter. He fights them all off somehow, and then escapes with Captain America. Captain America tries to get him, but he escapes with Captain America, so does Falcon, and they're all fugitives at this point. And yeah, then you get the scene where you see Ant-Man after credits scene. You get the extended version of the scene, and yeah, obviously Bucky now remembers him. And then he mentions that there's other Winter Soldiers, there's more than one, and Zemo wants to get to them. And yeah, eventually, well, Cap realizes that they have to go and find these other Winter Soldiers and I don't know, get rid of them, I guess. And yeah, obviously there's only 3 of them. There's Tony and Black Widow, obviously on the other side of things, of course. And yeah, then you get all these scenes of putting both teams together, basically. So yeah, you get Spider-Man's introduction. That was done really well. You get Hawkeye coming to the Avengers facility to get Wanda. Wanda takes out Vision. They escape together. Black Widow gets Black Panther, gets T'Challa, obviously. Sharon gets Captain America and Falcon's costumes back, because they confiscated the costumes and the shield and stuff. Sharon got them back, and then well, Cap kisses Sharon, so now we know they're together. It's a bit weird, but I guess it makes sense in a way. They get Ant-Man. I think that's the last scene of getting the team together. And yeah, eventually it's the airport battle, of course. Arguably the best superhero fight scene ever. Arguably. I mean, Infinity War probably have a better one, but definitely the best Marvel one. Yeah, definitely the best Marvel one. Let's just put it that way. It was the longest, I think, the longest superhero movie fight scene. I'm pretty sure. I think they'll be beating Infinity War, but might be the longest fight scene in all movies. Actually, no. The Expendables movies must have longer fight scenes, because the whole movie is a fight scene in those. So probably not the longest fight scene in movies, but one of the longest, and probably the longest in superhero movies. It was just amazingly done, from the great action to the nice little comedy, nice little jokes, to the interaction between characters like Captain and Spider-Man. That was cool. Panther and Bucky. There was a lot of cool exchanges, between them. So yeah, it was all done well, and it all ends in Cap and Bucky escaping, the other four getting caught on Cap's team, and Vision accidentally shooting Rhodes. Rhodes smashes into the ground, obviously, and yeah, a lot of people got annoyed that no one died in this. Like, it was very serious, no one died. I've never made an issue with it. I mean, they're preparing for Infinity War, so obviously, like, they tend to weaken villains, etc., to like progress the story of the MCU, and they don't kill many people off. They did kill Quicksilver, to be fair, but yeah, just one guy killed off in a lot of movies. I get people's frustrations with that, but you know, just keep them alive. You know, you want, let's be honest, you want as many of them as possible for Infinity War. You don't really want them all to die. You know, when you get to Infinity War, that's when you need as much as you can, and yeah, the more heroes in that, the better. So I'm glad he didn't die. So yeah, the dead body of the Bucky Barnes lookalike is, well, I guess it's a lookalike. It is found, and Tony finds out that Captain was trying to tell him that it wasn't Bucky, and Captain realizes that, okay, he realized with the dead body that he was framed. Bucky was framed for the bombing and everything else. And then Tony's like, oh no. So he goes to this prison, underwater prison, holding Falcon, Ant-Man, Wanda and Hawkeye, and they're being held in prison, and Tony disables the speaker systems, and he tries to get location because he realizes that they were right, and then Tony finds it out. Is it Formula 1 outside or something? Anyway, he finds it out. He goes to where Captain is to go and help. Panther is closely following as well. He's in the air. He sees Iron Man where he's going. He follows. So yeah, it sets up a massive finale. So yeah, Zemo finds the facility with the other Winter Soldiers. He actually kills them all. So there's that. So yeah, Iron Man, Cap, and Bucky, they find Zemo. They want to take him down, and obviously Panther is there around the corner, and he realizes from their conversation that Zemo was the one who killed those innocent people, that it wasn't Bucky. So this whole time he was trying to kill the wrong man, and he kind of finds out that he was blinded a little bit by rage in a way. And yeah, it's just very interesting for Panther's story arc, and it's just very interesting introduction to the character in general, you know, introduce him with an emotional introduction, you know, that's just, it was done well, you know. And with the other introduction, Spider-Man's introduction, that was done well too, but that was more lighter tones, which is fine because that suits Spider-Man. But yeah, I really like the way they introduced Black Panther in this movie. Anyway, Zemo eventually plays the clip of December 16th. Is it December 16th? I can't see. Yeah, December 16th, 1991, and it shows the mission. It shows the car crash of Tony's parents. So Tony's watching this, and it shows Bucky murdering his parents. And yeah, that is deep. Obviously he doesn't walk. I mean, he's mind controlled. Like he obviously Tony should know this, but Winter Soldier Bucky, he's mind controlled in this movie. He's under mind control, under the influence, but Tony can't accept that. The way he sees it, Bucky's the guy that killed his parents. So he starts fighting with Captain and Bucky, and yeah, they have this massive fight, of course. And in the middle you get Panther finding Zemo, and Zemo tells him about the Sokovia fight in Age of Ultron, how Zemo's family, his father, wife and child, they all died, and he wanted revenge, but instead of trying to fight them, he wanted to tear them apart from the inside, and he used that video to destroy them. And he used this whole thing was to destroy the Avengers, and in a way he succeeded. The camera cut off, sorry, apologies for that. I don't know where it cut off, but hopefully it got the whole thing in. Anyway, the rest, it cuts back to the rest of the Iron Man v Captain America fight, and then eventually Iron Man has him in a position. He rips Bucky's arm off, of course, so there's that as well. Bucky's lost his arm. Bucky's on the floor. Iron Man's beating up his Captain America, of course, and Captain America gets up and he's like, well, Iron Man's like, stay down. Captain's like, I can do this all day. And that is a great callback to the first Avenger. It was just an amazing callback, and Bucky saves him. So that is an even better callback to the first Avenger. Just a bit of deja vu, but on a more epic level. Bucky's distraction manages to help Captain win the fight. So Steve is in just a complicated position because, well, he was friends with Tony's dad in World War II, but his best mate in the army and his best mate in his life, Bucky, under mind control, killed Tony's dad, and he's also friends with Tony. So that's just like, that is so confusing. And then eventually you get to Ross, not Ross, what's his name? What's Martin Freeman's character's name? Whatever his name is, he's in Black Panther as well. He catches Zemo and he tells Zemo that you went through all that effort to fail, and Zemo said, did I fail? He makes a good point. He did tear the Avengers apart, you know, he did that. And even though he's not a great villain, his motives were understandable. His motives like not understandable, but his motives were actually like serious. Like you could see why he was doing what he was doing. So then you get the ending scene, Captain America's letter to Tony, if you need me, I will be there. And obviously Tony, I think in Infinity War, will obviously need him. And yeah, I'm assuming he calls him at some point, because when people are in Wakanda, I'm pretty sure like Captain and Black Widow, I guess because you see them coming back to Wakanda, so I'm guessing they find out what happens. Maybe Tony calls them or something, and they go to Wakanda to, I guess, get some help or warn them. I don't know. We'll see what happens in that movie, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And also Cap breaks the Avengers out of prison, the four that are arrested. They've been broken out of prison, so there's that as well. Then you get onto the after credit scenes. The first one, Bucky and Cap are in Wakanda. Obviously Bucky's getting frozen because they need to get the Hydra stuff out of his head, and he's still in his head now. And as long as he's alive, he's still a threat to people around him and even himself. So he wants to be frozen until they find a solution in Wakanda. Obviously they got advanced technology over there, so they will find it eventually, I guess. And yeah, T'Challa's obviously helping him because he realizes now that Bucky wasn't behind it really, and yeah, he's happy to help. So I'm guessing like during Black Panther, Captain America, I'm pretty sure is like he's there somewhere. Maybe he's on a mission somewhere. Who knows? And probably like, I guess Captain, like he goes to break Avengers out of prison, right? I'm guessing he takes them to Wakanda. Actually, he takes. I'm guessing he takes Wanda to Wakanda. Who else does he take? Falcon, I guess. And I guess Ant-Man goes home because he gets his own movie. And where does Ant-Man take part? I don't know. Maybe Ant-Man takes place before Ant-Man 2. I mean, Ant-Man the Wasp. Maybe that takes place before Infinity War, I guess. Even though it's after in the movie. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, as well. But yeah, the second scene, after credit scene, was Spider-Man. He discovers some new powers on his suit, and yeah, that was done pretty well too. So yeah, great movie, great introductions to Black Panther and Spider-Man. It was done perfectly for both of them. Great fight scenes, good story, and yeah, just an all-round good movie. Although it didn't feel like a war, it felt like a 3-day dispute. So even if that was if it was even 3 days, I don't know how long it was. How long? Probably a week at the most. But yeah, it wasn't really a war, but yeah, it was still good. It was still good. I just feel like in future they could probably do a better version of Civil War if they wanted to. Although contracts are expiring, so you never know. But yeah, if they could want to do Civil War again with more characters this time and just a bigger movie, because it's a big storyline, then I suggest they do it at some point in future, maybe. Okay, so yeah, that is the end. Talking for a while now, I think about 25 minutes at least. So yeah, well, I might cut it down though, as much as I can, but I'm still want to keep in most of the good stuff. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Gonna go see Doctor Strange now. See ya.